people get banned from the internet. These kind of conversations.
We better ban it right now.
Let's not ban it. I'll throw that out. Let's just not.
Certainly not ban the Tim Dillon YouTube page. Which
let me tell you the story.
Fantastic, by the way.
What?
Your YouTube page.
Thank you.
Let me tell you this right now.
It'll be up for another
24
hours.
They have called in the European Union for the arrest of scientists that question the cause of anthropogenic warming or if it's man-made.
Okay, but there is a contributing factor. Scientifically, it's been proven that increased carbon dioxide has an effect on the temperature of the Earth. Do you agree with that?
It depends on the models they use. Sometimes, actually, more carbon dioxide can cause a cooling effect, but generally can cause a heating effect. It depends on potash in the atmosphere, volcanic ejections at the time, and also solar maximum and minimums.
If you had,
sunspot activity is the main generator of planetary climate.
But if you had a giant swath of scientists that are examining carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, would you agree that the majority of them believe that it's a contributing factor to the warming of the Earth?
Joe, it's a mantra where they say the majority of scientists agree that climate change is caused by humans. I agree with climate change. The only thing that's constant is change. Of course the climate's changing. What I'm telling you is carbon dioxide was 50 to 500 times, depending on the time period, higher millions of years ago than it is now.
Right, but you also realize that was before we got hit by an asteroid. This might be
interesting to hear. What do you think the motivation is for them to present the evidence in this way? Like you said, this is a fraud and everything. Because I've heard you talk about this before, what do you think their goal is by linking all of this climate change to man-made activity? What's the goal?
The goal is a centralized world government that can then monitor all carbon and control it as a toxic bad thing. Your carbon, it makes you bad. That didn't work, so now it's, you have a cold, you're dirty with COVID. We've got to track you and tax you and control you. So the new thing is COVID to cut the carbon footprint, and they admit that.
Before we go down the COVID rabbit hole, the environmentalists are not in bed with the industrialists. The environmentalists they're not in bed with all these people that think that they can control the world's...
Actually, BP and ExxonMobil and others are the biggest funders of the climate change movement.
They're the biggest funders of it?
Contrary to what you hear.
How so?
All right, Joe, here's the thing. I understand this and you're a smart guy, and I understand you want to go over each piece of this. Let's go through...
Yeah, well, we have to. I
agree. Let's go through each piece.
But understand, you understand that the way you talk, and I enjoy the way you talk.
It's fast.
But the way you talk is fast, and you go on these long tangents, and then you go to frogs being gay, and a lot of things happen. I want to do it...
people can... Because I'm putting a record out.
Yes, but I want to do it step by step.
All right, let's do this. Let's do this.
But most people, the vast majority... Here we got here. BP commits $100 million to fund new emissions reductions projects.
But let me just go back for a second.
Okay.
And I appreciate you backing me up.
Yes.
Let me break down.
Are frogs gay?
You want to get to the frog stuff now?
We will.
Connect it all.
That is, by the way...
Why do I feel like I'm stoned and I haven't smoked any pot?
Yeah, I wish I was
If he's not going to smoke it, I'm going to...
God, it's sober October. I have 6
break
days
the
left.
goddamn rule and then go an extra day.
I cannot. I'm like George Washington.
Well, hey, on election night, we're going to get hammered, right?
Mm-hmm. Election night, I'm getting hammered.
But I'm going to pop in.
You can pop in. But we've told everybody now that we're doing a live
No,
election
we're
night
not.
show. Kyle,
Yeah.
Kyle Kalinske.
That's
Tim Dillon.
Yeah.
Me, Alex Jones, going to pop in live.
It's going to be fun.
It's live. So while you're watching the world burn, live. Yeah.
All right, Joe, here's the thing. It's just like... Let me explain it to you because I love you. And, dude, it's just like when you said, what's the AT&T deal? And I went, look it up.
But listen, we did look it up, and we found
this
some
is
information.
Bigger. This is bigger. Okay. Let me get my brain focused here for a minute. Let me just try to explain it.
Do.
I've literally interviewed probably, let's not exaggerate, 200 top scientists from petroleum geologists to astrophysicists to astronauts to quantum mechanics to petroleum.
Buckle up because I have too.
I know.
I'm a moron.
I know.
Okay?
You're a moron?
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Yeah, trust me.
Joe, you're a smart guy, and I'm not, that's his cover. He is smart.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, right.
I'm a smart moron.
Yeah, right. Okay, let me tell you what's going on. I'm going to say it again. You can go to any major study. Just type in carbon dioxide levels were hundreds of times higher in Earth's early past.
Well, I understand that, but also I understand
but
that
wait. You can look at the ocean models then.
Yes.
You can look at the ocean models,
right?
And it's true, the oceans did cover more than they do now.
Alex Jones, human beings weren't alive 65 million years ago, and the environment wasn't compatible for us.
We put out a fraction. We hadn't developed yet.
Right. We were moles.
We had shrews.
Shrews, yeah.
But my point is, you're right.
Yeah.
Is that
last time CO2 was this high, humans didn't exist. The last time there was as much carbon dioxide, CO2 in the earth, CO2 levels are far higher now than they have been for any time during the past. And oil, a single CO2 molecule can remain in the atmosphere. What'd you do?
That was just getting parts of it.
Oh, I see. I understand. Oh, okay. So let's just go to what this says. And what is this paper that's is this climatecentral.org? Okay. The last time there was this much carbon dioxide in the Earth's atmosphere, modern humans didn't exist. Megatooth sharks prowled the oceans, blah, blah, blah. All right. As we near the record for the highest CO2 concentrations in human history, 400 parts per million, climate scientists worry about where we were then and where we're rapidly headed now, according to the data gathered by Mauna Loa Observatory in Hawaii, dope spot. The 400 ppm mark may briefly be exceeded this month when CO2 typically hits a seasonal peak.
Sure, and I've had top scientists on, I've had climatologists on about the Keeling curve. I can tell you all this.
Threshold, according to Ralph Keeling, the researcher. Carbon dioxide is the most important long-lived global warming gas. And once it's emitted by burning fossil fuels,
it helps us keep our atmosphere.
Hold, please. But once it's emitted by burning fossil fuels such as coal and oil, a single CO2 molecule can remain in the atmosphere for hundreds of years. Global CO2 emissions reached a record high of 35.6 billion tons in 2012, up 2.6% from 2011. Carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases warm the planet by absorbing the sun's energy and preventing heat from escaping back into space, which means it enhances the atmosphere, right?
But the sea levels didn't go up like they said.
Well, aren't they melting? But it's a process.
Al Gore said by 2013.
Al Gore.
Okay, Joe, but listen, this is one guy's take.
I know, but Al Gore's out there flying around.
I know. You found a guy admitting that it used to be higher than it is now. I'm telling you, it used to be way higher than it is now. This is
right, but then the asteroid hit the Yucatan, killed all the dinosaurs, and changed the entire atmosphere of the planet
with a dark winter.
Yeah, it was very bad for everything.
Caused by atmospheric dust.
For a long fucking time, right?
One major volcano, like Mount St. Helens, they estimated, put out more dust than decades of human dust.
Yes.
And human dust is what helps cause nuclei to form to cause storms. So we are affecting our environment. But most of the astrophysicists and most of the physicists I've talked to, and most of the climatologists I've talked to, they have broken down that the sun, by magnitude, is 98% of the driver of what happens. That's why when the sunspots take place, it's an coronal ejection from the sun, and one of those shoots radiation in our direction. It'll be clear blue sky, but they know when we get hit by that, it hits our magnetic field and causes an ionization of the atmosphere and electrification of it, and so that causes the giant storms. So the main driver of climate is the sun. And I think everybody doesn't be a scientist to know. What's the main thing that Earth's living off of?
The sun.
The sun.